and Afghans are working all the time to just have a piece of bread because they want to save their lives.
It's unfortunately becoming like a black market of all terrorist groups inside the country.
عام على عودة طالبان إلى السلطة في أفغانستان، حيث لم يكن السقوط المدوي متوقعا. آنذاك الذهول أصاب الجميع وكان التخبط سيد الموقف. ففي 15 من أغسطس لعام 2021 لم تسقط كابول العاصمة فقط، إنما سقط معها حلم كل أفغاني ببلد متحضر يتماشى مع دول العالم. تلك المشاهدات بقيت عالقة في أذهان العالم بأكمله الذي شاهدها بذهول تام، لكن ما أبرزه خوف الأفغان وهروبهم آنذاك ما هي الطالبان والحقيقة التي تكتسيها. فقد كان ذلك كافيا ليعرف من عاصر طالبان في الماضي ومن لم يعاصرها من هي تلك الحركة التي تحكم أفغانستان اليوم.
I think the Taliban by their military return or the military takeover of the capital Kabul, from the day first they violated the Doha Agreement, they violated the UN Security Council number 2513, where the decision was that any future dispensation in Afghanistan will be through a peaceful means. I think that was the very initial violation of UN Security Council resolutions. But as soon as they arrived, some people were optimistic. People were thinking that perhaps there is a way that the violence could end, and there will be a way for some sort of, an inclusive representative governance where the Afghan people could come together.
قبل عام من الآن الجميع كان يرقد هربا من قبضة طالبان التي خبروا جيدا بطشها قبل 20 عاما. ومع السقوط المدوي أخبار الآن كانت أجرت جملة من اللقاءات مع أفغان داخل أفغانستان وخارجها، تحدثوا آنذاك عن خيبة أمل كبيرة أصيبوا بها مع عودة طالبان ودخولها العاصمة كابول من دون إطلاق رصاصة واحدة. آنذاك الجميع كان خائفا على حياته، حريته، أحلامه، طموحه، كل شيء تلاشى بكبسة زر.
We didn't imagine that everything's going to collapse in such a fast pace that it did. We were thinking that major cities might not fall to the Taliban so easily, and the elite forces, the special forces, they would be able to defend cities like Kabul. But we saw that in a matter of days, they just collapsed after one another.
It was the worst day of my life, not only for me, but maybe for several other Afghans, especially for women, because that was the day that we lost our everything. I lost being a professor at university. I lost my freedom. I lost to be as a director. I lost my human rights, and my whatever I had, I lost it everything on that day.
Like every Afghan, I was also so emotionally drained. I was so numb. I was not able to feel anything. I was like, what is happening? Maybe it's just a bad dream. Maybe it's not happening. Maybe it won't happen. But unfortunately, it did. And as I said before, it was such a killing experience, such a bad experience, and everything is finished now. I am trying so hard. I've been trying since 1 year so hard that I remain positive. I'm such a positive person.
مع دخول طالبان حاول الأفغان سريعا التكيف مع الواقع الجديد، أو بالأحرى مسايرة التشدد لدى الحكام الجدد تجنبا لعواقب وخيمة. فعدا عن مشاهد طلاء وجهات محال التجميل والتزيين النسائية، حصلت متغيرات تلقائية.
سيد حبيب، ما أبرز متغيرين شاهدتهما فورا يوم استيلاء حركة طالبان على الحكم مجددا؟
And everybody was in despair and everybody was like terrified. But there were two visible changes that I witnessed. One was that suddenly everybody in Kabul was wearing traditional clothes, traditional Afghan clothes, instead of like the Western clothes. But in Kabul, generally people they dress like the rest of the world. But since the Taliban don't like the Western dresses, like shirts and jeans and shorts, everybody changed to the traditional Afghan, as we call it, kameez partuk. That was one very visible change. Another visible change was that suddenly there were no fancy cars in the streets. Like all the cars that were driven by officials or like business people, they disappeared. And another change was that suddenly there were no women in the streets.
المرأة في أفغانستان. تعيش الأفغانية في وضع لا تحسد عليه إطلاقا. العديد منهن غادر البلاد، لا سيما اللواتي كن يلعبن دورا بارزا ويعتبرن محط أنظار طالبان وموضع استهداف من قبلها. لكن في الحقيقة ثمة أفغانيات ما زلن يناضلن من داخل أفغانستان رغم مزاج الحكام الجدد المتشدد.
He shoot on us. They shoot on us.
إحدى هؤلاء النساء الأفغانية باروين شريفي التي ما زالت تعيش في أفغانستان، فهي لا تطالب فقط بحقوقها إنما تحمل هم مواطنيها في أفغانستان، وقد تحدثت عن الفقر الذي يرزح تحته الشعب الأفغاني، وكذلك سجلت عتبا على العالم الذي يتفرج اليوم على مأساة الشعب الأفغاني.
From that day that I born and until now, I didn't know anything about serenity and peace because we are not living in a peaceful country. And also, instead of following my dreams and my ends, I have to go and find the work to support my family, to support my people, and to support my father. Because in this hard situation, finding a piece of bread is very hard. Okay, people and Afghans are working all the time to just have a piece of bread because they want to save their lives. I talked to you about poverty. Poverty is the main problem in Afghanistan here, People are working all the time to just have a piece of dry bread, okay? It is the problem. It is the problem of people, okay? They want to save their lives, but we have many news that people died, okay? That people passed away because they didn't have any food to eat. They didn't have any bread to eat. That is the problem that by coming of the Taliban added and the situation in here for people. We are living here. This is Kabul, and also we have many problems in here. We feel ourselves so lonely, and the world, the people all around the world, throughout the world, are so silent, okay? Because they see our situation. They know that how is the situation in Afghanistan for people, but they don't do anything.
زهرة هي أيضا من الأفغانيات اللواتي كانت لهن روايات مع طالبان، فهي الأفغانية التي اضطرت لأن تتنكر بزي الصبية لتحصل على تعليمها في عهد طالبان الأول، وهي اليوم تواصل النضال كغيرها من أبناء جيلها.
Unfortunately now, half of the population of Afghanistan, they lost their own rights, and they can't choose their own clothes. Because of that, I know it is very risky and it is very difficult for all of us to work as an independent media and as an media who work with the Afghan women field. So therefore, it is very difficult. It is very painful, and sometimes, but I'm very happy. My colleagues who are working inside the country, they are very brave, and they are working very hard but it is for all of us, we are working hiding. Unfortunately, at the first of the Taliban rule in 1990 decades, it was the darkness situation and the darkness moment for women as well. So on that time, I was 5 years old, and the Taliban was in charge. And on that time, the girls weren't allowed to go to school. So therefore, I decided to change my style and go to school by boys' clothes. So therefore, I got education, and then now I'm happy that I did it. Now, it is very difficult time for girls students, because they are not allowed, and I'm not sure how many of them do like me. So because there is millions of girls who are banned from school.
لم تتوقف انتهاكات عناصر طالبان بحق الشعب الأفغاني منذ عودة الحركة إلى السلطة وحتى اليوم. أخبار الآن حصلت على تقارير خاصة عمل عليها فريق أممي يبين في هذه التقارير الانتهاكات، خصوصا بحق الناشطين المدنيين، الموظفين الحكوميين، وعناصر وضباط الشرطة في الحكومة السابقة، وذلك في إطار عمليات انتقامية على الرغم من إعلان العفو العام من قبل طالبان. تلك التقارير تعرض مجموعة من الصور لأشخاص تم تعذيبهم وقتلهم، وقد بدت على أجسادهم آثار التعذيب. يبين تقرير آخر كان صدر مطلع العام الجاري أن نحو 300 ألف شخص من قوات الدفاع والأمن الوطنية الأفغانية اختفوا في ظروف غامضة، وبالتالي تلك الحصيلة ليست نهائية بما أن طالبان مستمرة بسلوكها الانتقامي.
From the day one, despite the amnesty that they announced, extrajudicial killing continued, which continues till now. A very violent attack against the Panjshir province, where a negotiation was going on, that occurred, which renewed the cycle of vengeance and violence in the country, in a multi-ethnic country, unfortunately. And then came the right of women and girls in Afghanistan. They were first deprived from, the work that they had. Majority of them are not going to work right now. And then the schools were banned. And despite all the promises that they made, so the women in Afghanistan cannot return to their schools. So almost 50% of the country is deprived of their basic rights. The other groups, ethnic groups, minority groups, are still under pressure.
قبل أكثر من عام، أي قبل عودة طالبان إلى الحكم، كانت أخبار الآن أول من انتزعت تصريحا مدويا من الناطق باسم طالبان سهيل شاهين، حينها نفى بيعة القاعدة لطالبان ليفك بذلك الارتباط بين التنظيمين تحضيرا للعودة إلى الحكم في أفغانستان.
No, there is no bay'ah. Who said there is bay'ah? There is no bay'ah. These are one of the also the claims made and in order to further their aims and their objectives, but actually there is no bay'ah.
ومنذ ذلك الحين واظبت طالبان على نفي استمرار العلاقة مع القاعدة، وأصرت على ذلك خصوصا مع الاستيلاء على السلطة، وذلك في إطار السعي لانتزاع اعتراف دولي بطالبان كممثل شرعي للشعب الأفغاني، إلى أن جاء مقتل أيمن الظواهري في العاصمة كابول ليقضي على حلم طالبان بالحصول على ذلك الاعتراف.
سيد نصير أنديشة، كمسؤول أممي، ماذا يعني لك مقتل أيمن الظواهري في أفغانستان، مع الإشارة إلى أن طالبان لطالما كانت تنفي أي علاقة لها بالقاعدة؟
First, let me start by what does it mean for the people of Afghanistan. For me, as a citizen of Afghanistan, and for our community and people, I think this is perhaps is a shame that we should carry in our history, that it was Kabul where the second leader of Al-Qaeda was killed. Because throughout the war on terror, we always used to say that, look, Afghanistan did not have any role in the 9/11. The main perpetrators were not the Afghans. And even when bin Laden was killed, it was not in the territory of Afghanistan. But what Taliban did with hosting of al-Zawahiri in the capital city, in the cultural capital of South and Central Asia, the city of Kabul, which was a citadel of civilization, I think that's a shame that the people of Afghanistan should carry on their neck for many years.
يقول المسؤول الأممي إن هناك تقارير عديدة أصدرها فريق عمل مراقبة الإرهاب التابع للأمم المتحدة وفرق أخرى العام الجاري تفيد بأن نشاطات القاعدة وغيرها من مجموعات إرهابية أخرى ومنها داعش زادت منذ تولي طالبان السلطة في أفغانستان.
So I think what happened with this killing of Zawahiri, I know this is the biggest target, but it shows that this is the tip of the iceberg. This is, just a sample of how many other groups are right now in Afghanistan and what kind of operating areas are provided to them. Because there have been many reports that the families of some of these, foreign terrorist groups have been moved from different parts of the world into very safe areas in the city of Kabul. Now they are under the protection of part of the Taliban government. So that can also tell you that maybe there is a group within the Taliban who actually actively right now supports and gives safe haven for these terrorist groups. And each of these groups have a specific target around the world. So it's actually an open area, and it's only countries like the United States which could possibly have the capacity to have a surgical attack and to eliminate the leaders. But I'm not sure that any other country will be in a position to really monitor these terrorist groups, regional terrorist groups, which directly threaten their security in Afghanistan. So I think that's why it's unfortunately becoming like a black market of all terrorist groups inside the country.
في تلك الحلقة الخاصة عن أفغانستان بعد عام على عودة طالبان إلى الحكم، حاولنا الإحاطة بالمعاناة الأفغانية من جوانب عديدة، بدءا من الأفغان أنفسهم الذين يعيشون وضعا مزريا على الصعيد الإنساني، وصولا إلى الانتهاكات بحقهم وسلبهم أبسط حقوقهم، وصولا إلى المجموعات الإرهابية التي تجد في أفغانستان مأوى لها. كل ما سبق مع عوامل أخرى لا شك أنه يساهم في إرساء التداعي الأكبر في المستقبل، سيما وأن مقتل الظواهري في كابول شكل نقطة تحول جديدة ستقود البلاد إلى منحدرات غير حميدة.